What's going on, traders? It's your boy Nate Barnes here at the Forex University, and in this video we're gonna go over Bitcoin on why it's actually gonna go to $100,000 in the near future. Okay, I made a video a few months ago about Bitcoin going to $50,000. It definitely surpassed that, and now it's getting ready to retrace a little bit and probably go back up to the upside. So here's some of the main reasons why I think Bitcoin is gonna go to 100,000 plus, all right? Number one, institutional investors are pouring their money into it and there's no looking back, right? Like, it's definitely considered an alternate currency. Number two, there's other people in the whole world that are using Bitcoin as a currency today. There's Bitcoin ATMs, there's people buying cars, and even Elon Musk might accept Bitcoin to transact for his Tesla vehicles, okay? So these are just a few things that are just at the cusp, right? At the tip of the iceberg to actually make Bitcoin a world reserve currency, okay? And the cool thing about Bitcoin is there's a finite amount of Bitcoin in the world. Unlike fiat currency, right, where people can actually print that, the value of each currency, the euro, the dollar, everything, history repeats itself, and every single currency that has existed on planet Earth has gone to zero, right? So it's just a matter of time when the US dollar, the euro, I'm not saying it's gonna happen next year, but every single currency is gonna go down in value while things are gonna get more expensive, and that's called inflation, okay? So what I'm thinking is, once people start realizing that they can actually hedge against their own currencies in their own country, they're gonna be able to have something a little bit more solidified. And right now, it's the greatest time in history to actually invest into Bitcoin. I'm not a financial investor. This is just my speculation on what I think is gonna happen in the near future. So if you guys are definitely kind of like doing your research on Bitcoin, definitely invest for the long term, because there's even hedge fund managers, there's bankers and big multi-conglomerate companies saying that Bitcoin can be worth $1 million. Here's the other reason. If you think about Bitcoin as like a currency, right? Well, what's gonna happen, in my opinion, is Bitcoin, once it gets valued at $1 million or $100,000, and once it starts becoming a world currency and people start exchanging it just like the dollar and the euro, normally in grocery stores and things like that, it's actually gonna get broken down into smaller pieces, which is a Satoshi, right? A Satoshi is just a smaller unit of a Bitcoin, kind of like 100K, right? 100K, we already know what that means. A stack, a grand, right? Those are just terms to just really showcase the amount of dollars you hold, right? That you actually own. And so I think what's gonna happen is once the currency becomes more of a standard, I think all the people who buy at an early age, right, at an early stage right now, they're actually going to be able to break it down and spend Satoshis, right? Like, because a Bitcoin, that's more for like bigger transactions. One Bitcoin is worth a lot of dollars, or it's worth a lot of euros. I think what's going to happen is people are going to start saying, hey, like, let me get 20 Satoshis for lunch, or that TV costs 500 Satoshis. So this is why I think Bitcoin can definitely go up in value for the long term, because Bitcoin is just a finite amount of Bitcoin, right? There's only a certain amount in the world. You should definitely think long term and just invest. That's what I think is going to happen in the future. It's already happening. That's why PayPal, that's why Cash App, there's a lot, Coinbase, there's a ton of brokers that are, exchanging and offering the Bitcoin. Definitely invest. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, but I would highly recommend taking advantage of what's gonna happen in the future. I think $100,000 definitely right around the corner within the next year, and in the future, within the next 3 to 5 years, it could definitely go up to $1 million. So hopefully I'm correct on this, because everyone that is kind of figuring out what's gonna happen with the world, what's gonna happen with these currencies, what's gonna happen with money being printed out every single quarter, right, because of crashes and the economy being super weak. These are all red flags of current fiat currencies diminishing in value over time. So once the Federal Reserve and the ECB and all these other agencies or organizations that actually print the currencies, I think they're in big trouble. And I really think that it's kind of like quicksand, right? They have to continue pumping money into the system for the system to actually work, and it's starting to backfire, right? And so the quicksand is getting stronger and stronger and stronger, which is making every single currency in the world weaker, weaker, and weaker. Gold, there's a finite amount, right? And Bitcoin, there's a finite amount. We're in a digital revolution. People don't even use cash that much anymore. So if you think about Bitcoin as a new gold reserve, I would highly recommend looking into it, because this is where the future is going. Satoshis, that's gonna be the smaller unit where you can actually spend in everyday life, where you go get some gas and you spend $20 Satoshi, right? You get some lunch, 20 Satoshi. If you have kids that need to borrow some money, let me get 20 Satoshis. So that's what's gonna happen, right? Bitcoin is pretty much where it's at right now, but once it hits a critical mass and everyone starts cashing out on Bitcoin and starts exchanging and spending Bitcoin all across the world in their local markets, I think people are gonna start breaking it down into smaller units. Let me know your thoughts. If you like this video, I know it's kind of short, it was not super organized, but hopefully there's someone else out there that resonates with my philosophy. And if you like this video, go ahead and support your boy, smash that like button, subscribe, and let's go.